Alright, bringing you a Deep Rock Galactic video today. We're going to be talking about the the Plasma Carbine. So this build, we're going to be talking about the Bouncy build, I think is really fun. And not only is it really fun, it's also really good. So like, what is the Bouncy build? It's basically this overclock. Impact Deflection. Impact Deflection, as it says, projectiles are bouncy. That's kind of vague. Basically what happens is, and like the way that you're going to end up shooting this gun, or well, at least for this build, is that you're going to be shooting at the floor, and it's going to bounce up. And when it bounces up, it's going to, like a second ball or whatever you want to call it, is going to split off. So you kind of get like a two-shot. I think it's like an additional 5 damage or something like this. It's crazy how fast this kills grunts in particular. It's really nuts. Like, none of the other weapons, and I don't think any of the other overclocks really compare to the speed at which you can just mow down a swarm of grunts. I'd played the other guns for so long, so when I first tried this, it was like a real mind blower. I couldn't believe it. This is by far, I think, the most popular build that you're gonna find online. I did consult somebody who's far superior than I am playing Scout, and he kind of double checked with some of his buddies, and they do like those high level modded things, like the 6x2 or whatever. I don't think it's as popular in that setting, but yeah, definitely 3s, 4s, and it can still hang pretty. Yeah, it can do it, and has 5 as well. So what are the shortcomings of this, though? Like, I've said 100 times now that it shreds grunts. The range is not super great on this. It's a little inconsistent sometimes. Like, if the ground that you're shooting at is uneven, sometimes it doesn't bounce right, or like at all. Or like, and I guess there's like those rare occasions where the bullet can bounce into something that you weren't ready to set off. Like, I can't remember the name of the event, but those kind of plant snake things or something like this. So you can get some strays, is what I'm saying. That can be a little hard to control. But no, the killing power on this thing is amazing. It's so fun, like how good it can just mow bugs down. It's pretty great. It might not be the best versus some of the bigger targets like Praetorians and Oppressors, but that's okay though. You can mod your secondary weapon to take care of those, or if you're on a team, maybe they can handle that. But yeah, dude, like this gun, everything else, this gun really shreds. Definitely more of a close range feel, because like the idea is like it's kind of weird. You actually don't aim at the bugs. I mean, if they're flying bugs, you gotta do what you gotta do. But it works best versus the things that are like on the walls or on the floor, and you actually shoot just before them, so like it'll bounce off the floor and hit them. So, well, I guess we can talk about the mods here. Really though, I think a lot of this is very subjective. Personally, I really do. There's only one mod in particular that I think is worth mentioning, or like not worth mentioning, but like that is maybe required or mandatory. And that is this Plasma Splash. This is the thing that basically makes it, it gives you like the second bullet or like that extra 5 damage when it bounces off the ground. This is what really like racks up the numbers. Yeah, this is like you kind of have to get this to really make this build shine. Most everything else though is kind of up to you. One other thing that I would maybe say, I don't think you need this, maybe ever. Launches the plasma projectiles at a higher velocity. You just got to play with the gun to learn, like, the speed and how to lead your shots. So I don't think this is gonna. You don't need to do this, and it shoots plenty fast already. So I would say avoid this and absolutely get that. And after that, it's just kind of up to you. So I'll just go over my choices here. So in the first tier, I think because I just said like maybe stay away from that. It's really one of these two. I don't think this the heat per shot is that powerful. Whereas like this is super awesome. It just your DPS goes through the roof with this thing, and I think it just really synergizes nicely, with this mod and obviously with the overclock. So like these three, just wow, it's really nice. So I definitely recommend going with this one. Next, so larger battery, basically more ammo, or damage. I think other builds, it may be more appropriate to get the ammo, but man, 800 I think is plenty. I think it's plenty. Plenty, plenty, plenty. And I think because of this kind of like, quote, doubling effect, it just feels right to get the damage. So this is what I recommend, definitely getting the damage. It's not a really hard-hitting weapon in the first place. It's because of how this build works is what makes it do so much damage, but an individual shot is really not that much with this gun. So I think getting the damage is the way to go. Alright, and then the next tier. You do not need to improve your accuracy or the spread. No. I mean, you're going to be shooting at the floor to bounce these things up into the bugs, and or you're going to be shooting at walls to bounce these things up into the bugs. So like this is no. This is going to help you though. This is going to help you lay down the hurt. This cooling is pretty solid, and I think this one would work better for other builds. So I think this is like the clear cut. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Already said that. Talked about that. There's a video that I'm going to put in the description that I think really explains much better than probably I can how this works. He does like a little like diagram or whatever, and it's just a nice video, honestly. And then I kind of want to promote, people doing some good content. So it's a good way to yeah. So I'll put that in the description for you to watch. But he basically just explains that when you bounce it off the floor, that you get like that second split, and then you get the 5 more damage. So that's pretty cool. And then last, I feel like this mod is really fun. I don't know why, but it actually reminds me of Warhammer, Age of Reckoning. I played the Choppa in that, and you had to like build your rage, and then depending on the build, it was like beneficial to keep it at a certain like rage level. And this is kind of similar in that once you pass 50% heat, your rate of fire is gonna go it's gonna go way up. So you want to not go too overboard, right? Because then you'll overheat, and that's no good. But if you go too low, you're not going to get the benefit of it. So yeah, you want to keep it in that, 50%. Like that last half is really, that's a big wide open chunk to kind of keep your heat at. And I guess that's kind of like the I'll call it the skill that you need to learn. I guess like first like shooting it because it's a projectile gun, but it's really not that difficult. And then the managing your heat, right? That's like a big aspect to being effective with this gun. So you got to manage your heat a little bit with this, and in this case, you want to keep it a little hot. I would say though, like you don't have to go nuts, like constantly looking to the right, to see what your heat's at. You don't need to waste ammo to get up to 50% heat. I would just say that when you're in the thick of things, try to prevent yourself from overheating, because you will probably hit that 50% heat mark very quickly. So yeah, just keep that like in the back of your mind as you're playing. Like, just manage your heat. So I think I said that enough. And yeah, I think that's basically the build. Just to wrap it up, you want to get your faster rate of fire. You want to up your damage a little bit. You want to keep things cool so that you can shoot more. This is the most critical piece of this build. I mean, obviously getting the overclock is critical, but this interaction is amazing. And then, as I've just talked about, try to manage your heat so that you can get the most bang for your buck. So, anyways, I hope this helped. If you like this one, and or you want to see something else, I could absolutely prioritize that. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to do some tier list videos, and I'm going to be trying to do these individual gun guides. I may end up doing some more robust builds, so it's not just like showcasing just the one gun. But I would love to hear some feedback from you guys if you thought this was helpful, if you thought this was good. Um, yeah. So hopefully I explained this one. I might end up doing other builds for this gun because I feel like there's definitely more than one way to play this, and they're pretty different. But yeah, give this one a whirl. I think you will be really surprised. So anyways, thanks so much for watching, and please stay tuned for more.